Hey, hey, hey. Oh my goodness. It is your girl, Natasha Perez, the empowerment strategist, your resident therapist. And I am so excited to come before you for yet another season 3. Well, in this season, we are bringing more and more of what you like. We had an amazing season 2 with an average of about 50 to 60 downloads a week. And I am super excited because I am predicting that we are going to have close to about 100 and 150 downloads a week and moving in to 2 to 3, 4, almost 1,000 downloads a week. I am claiming it. Because I have something to share. So within this season 3, I'm super excited because we are going to be offering we're going to be bringing back the affirmations series where you are able to speak life into the things that you want for your life, and you're able to breathe deeply. So we're bringing back the affirmation series. In addition to that, we're going to bring back those topics that really support your growth. We're going to give you solutions to possible concerns that you may have. Look, I am not here to change the world, but I am here to really change the world. Okay, come on now. And so with that said, we are excited, and we're going to also be bringing some interviews. We are bringing some interviews to this platform, talking to people who you might want to know about, right? Yes, and who have something to also say. And as we have said before, I want you to do 3 things. I want you to hit that 5-star button on your favorite platform. In addition to that, I want you to share. And of course, I want you to comment. I want to hear from you. Season 3 is going to be amazing. So I want to hear from you. And so with that said, my friends, let's get right into it. Welcome to season 3. Let's go. Hello, and welcome to Empower You 2 podcast. I am your host, Natasha Perez, your resident licensed therapist, and also your empowerment strategist. I am so delighted, as usual, to come before you because this is about you. This is about you freeing yourself from the burdens and the guilt of doing you. Yes, I said it, doing you and honoring God. And so with that said, let's jump into it. Welcome to episode 187. Yes, 187. And today's episode is very dear to my heart. It is a episode that speaks to the truth of what we want for our lives and what I've counseled people about. And the episode for today is Let Them Go in order to live a more fulfilling and peaceful life. Yes, my friends, let them go without guilt, reclaiming your peace when others don't respect or support you. My friends, today's episode is for anyone who has ever felt torn between loving others and loving themselves, loving others or loving yourself. Well, let's jump into it because what I am talking about is letting go, not letting go in a harsh or dismissive way, but in a way that allows you to finally breathe, heal, and live a more fulfilling life. This is about family members who minimize you, friends who only support you when it's convenient, and people who stay close to you but don't actually respect you or love you. Let's get into this because letting go doesn't always mean walking away physically. Sometimes it means releasing expectations that you have for others, roles, and the guilt that you may harbor, and that emotional labor that no longer belongs to you. Because oftentimes, when we are experiencing levels of disrespect, levels of dismissiveness, we sometimes, well, in speaking to many of my clients, we internalize it. We wonder if it's something that we did. We wonder whether it is warranted. We start to question ourselves, and then we neglect ourselves for the betterment of the relationship, especially if it's a relationship that is disrespecting you, a relationship that doesn't honor you. Well, today, my friends, we are going to let this go. I'm going to teach you how to do this, because letting go doesn't always mean walking away physically, like I said. It means making a conscious decision to do what works for you. Because, my friends, if you've ever asked yourself, why do I keep trying when they don't? Am I selfish for needing distance? Or why do I feel drained after certain interactions or conversations? If you've ever asked yourself any of these questions, this episode is for you. This episode is for you. So I want you to get your journal. I want you to get a pad and paper. I want you to get your phones out and go to the notes section. And I want you to jot down some notes, because this right here is a game changer. Okay? So let's talk about it. Why is letting go so hard? I'm going to repeat that question. Why letting go is so hard? Well, because most of us were taught that family means loyalty at all costs. At all costs. Family, blood, oh yeah. Yeah, you're loyal regardless of how they treat you. Friendship means endurance, even when it hurts. Even when it hurts you. You're like, well, I'm a ride or die. I'm a ride or die, and I'm going to be there for them regardless of how they make me feel. In addition, well, you know what? We've been also taught that love means sacrifice, often without limits. If you love someone, if you're in an intimate relationship and you are being treated less than what you deserve, because what I've often said in my podcast episodes is that love is your birthright. It is something that you deserve to receive, and deserve to receive it abundantly. Yes, but love does not mean sacrifice against yourself, because you have to have limits, right? Because we often are told that these are the things that we must do, but many of us often are conditioned to believe that being a good person means tolerating disrespect. Many of us have been conditioned, and I'm going to use that word, conditioned, to believe that if you're a good person, you must tolerate disrespect. You must swallow your pride, because if you don't, you are selfish. Well, let me tell you, Natasha Paris is here to tell you the truth. Endurance is not the same as emotional health. Staying in a relationship that does not serve you, it is not the same as love for self. It really is not. Do not equate sacrifice with love. Okay? We often hold on to these relationships, whether it's family, friends, intimate relationships, because we hope that people will change. Let's talk about it. We hope that they will change. I had a client who came into my office, and she expressed how she was in a relationship for the past 8 years. And the reason why she was in this relationship was because she had hope. She was not being treated fairly. She wasn't being loved like she knew she was supposed to be loved. She tolerated negative energy and behavior. She tolerated cheating. She said, well, you know what? He's a good man. He's a good man. He's going to change. I believe he is going to change because he loves me. Mind you, 8 years of her life, dealing with the anguish, dealing with the drama of other women, dealing with the attitudes, the gaslighting. And then when he's caught, it goes back into that whole cycle of, oh, I love you and I didn't mean to do it. She hoped that he would change, but he never did because he became very comfortable. Well, that's one of the reasons why we hold on to relationships that don't serve us. We hold on to relationships that demean us, that disrespect us, because we think that person will change. Another reason why we hold on to relationships is because we remember who they used to be. Oh my goodness. We remember what our relationships used to be. We remember how things used to be, how that person was always there for us, but they changed. They're no longer for you. They're no longer there for you. They are no longer in your corner. My friends, the third reason why we hold on to relationships that don't serve us is because we fear being seen as a difficult person or ungrateful. You know, I've done this for you. I've taken care of this for you. I've given you money. I have supported you when you didn't have anyone. So how dare you tell me that how you're being treated is not fair or how you're being treated is dismissive? You're so ungrateful. You're so difficult. You know what? You have mental health problems. You have mental health issues. You need to see a therapist. Gaslighting. Yes. In addition, we confuse history with obligation. Just because we grew up together, we've seen a lot, we've heard a lot, we have history, we feel that we're obligated. I had a client come in, a young man who was pretty successful, and he was very baffled by the childhood friends that he had who couldn't understand his success, who was very envious and very jealous, but they grew up together. They had history. And he felt guilty for wanting more, for wanting them to be different, for wanting them to support him. He couldn't understand why they were hating on him, my friends. And I had to say to him, do not confuse your history with obligation, right? And sometimes, especially in families, we were assigned roles. The fixer. We're always fixing people, always fixing situations. The peacemaker. You're always the one that forgives and let go. And despite how they say and treat you, you continue to be forgiving and smile and allow the behaviors to be accepted. The strong one. Yeah, the one that can take everything, can take the pain, can take the ridicule, can take all of it and still continue to keep going. Because you know what? You're strong. Or the one who doesn't need anything. Yeah, you're always good. You have a beautiful home. You have a great job. You don't need anything from us. So yeah, we can continue to say and do what we want. But they won't say that, my friends. Their nonverbal will say it. Letting go often threatens these roles. And when a role is threatened, it appears that you are pushing back, right? You're the wrong one. It means you're not the wrong one, but you are the one that has come to the realization that all of that stuff, those roles, those expectations no longer hold weight. Because today is the day that you make a decision to do you. You make a decision to put you first, to honor your existence. And so, my friends, I want you to know that letting go really means what? What does it mean? Well, let's get into it even deeper. Before we define what letting go does mean, Let's redefine letting go. Letting go does not mean you don't care. It doesn't mean that you don't care about those individuals that you are deciding to let go of. It also does not mean that you're angry or bitter. You have to say this to yourself because you are starting to believe, my friend, that letting go means that you're bitter. No, it doesn't. Letting go also doesn't mean you're cutting everyone off. No, you're not cutting everyone off. You are just putting parameters in place. You are stating that you will no longer mistreat me. I am focused on not cutting you off, but I am focused on loving me. That's what I'm doing. In addition, you're not punishing others. Well, I mean, you may be saying that in your head, like, I am all that. And if you choose to continue to act this way, then you know what? You're going to miss me. You're going to really miss me. And if you miss me, you might interpret that as, well, I'm punishing you for all of the things that you've done. But what does letting go actually mean? What does it mean? It means releasing the need for validation from people unwilling to give it. You are releasing them from doing something that they don't want to do. Because, my friends, we cannot change people. Understand that. We cannot change people. We can hope for change. But if they are unwilling to show you levels of respect, you have to meet them where they are, understand to some degree where they are, and decide that you will not be a part of it. So you release them, right? In addition, letting go does mean releasing the fantasy that love must hurt to be real. Love must hurt to be real. Told many individuals who felt that being in a abusive relationship, whether it was emotional or physical, was okay. It was a testimony to them of their strength and endurance. And also, it indicated to them that they were truly ride or die. Not considering their feelings, but always considering someone else's. And what I found that in many instances, beyond the surface, many of the clients that I had counseled had dealt with childhood abuse in some form of fashion. Their father wasn't present. They had anger and resentment issues, and they were used to being treated less than. And to them, that was equated with love. Yes, that was their interpretation of what love looked like. Yes, my friends, releasing the responsibility for other people's emotional maturity is what letting go also means. You are releasing your responsibility for other people's emotional maturity. Sometimes letting go looks like shorter conversations, less personal disclosure, no longer explaining yourself, no longer will you chase closure. Because oftentimes we want to understand why situations happened the way that they did. Why did they say and do what they did? We want to talk about it. We want to share and divulge our emotional feelings about it. No. Sometimes letting go looks like no longer chasing that. Yes, my friends, it is so important for us to stop auditioning for respect. Stop asking several times for them to respect you when you already know they don't respect you. Well, here's an important truth. You don't need someone's agreement to step back from harm. You don't need a consensus that this is what you should do. It's important, my friends, to recognize the lack of respect and support. I really need to talk about this, right? Because we need to delineate what is respectful behavior, what is supportive behavior, and what is not. Respect isn't about them loving you all the time and consistently. Lack of respect often shows up as the following. When you make a comment, it's very dismissive. When you talk about your feelings, they say that you're so emotional. They joke at your expense. They only support you when you stay small. Now, if you make more money than they do, or have more notoriety, or you're just more attractive, they're going to really have a problem with you. So they'll only support you when you stay at their level. Or they ignore your boundaries or make everything about them, right? It's always about them, never about you. And one of the most painful realities of this all is some people benefit from you having no boundaries. What do I mean by no boundaries? They can say what they can say to you without any consequence. They can do what they want to do to you without any consequence. They don't consider your feelings. They don't consider who you are. They don't offer it, right? They don't respect it. However, my friends, when you begin to change, heal, grow, and speak up for yourself, people who were comfortable with that old version of you may resist the new one. They may challenge you. Well, not may, they will challenge you by saying things like, you've changed, or you're not the same that you used to be, or I really don't like this version of yourself. I think you need to get some help. Yes, they'll do that gaslighting that makes them feel comfortable, right? But when you begin to heal and grow and speak up, the resistance is clear. It tells you where to place your energy and where not to. Oftentimes, I often say, I see you. I see you. I see you for who you are. And guess what? It's not my job to change you. It is my job to pivot and to do something different. But let's face the reality, my friends. There's grief that comes with letting go, and this is real. I had to do it. And I had to go through the grief of it all because I couldn't understand why. Why were you treating me like this? Why were you saying these things that were mean to me when all I did was love you? Okay, well, let me say this. Grief is only the loss of a physical being, but it's the loss of a dream deferred, right? What you hoped the relationship would become. You're also experiencing grief of the version of them that you kept believing in, believing that they could change, believing that they were just as kind as you are, just as accommodating as you are, right? And then also grief is about the time and the emotional energy that you invested in that relationship, because you made so many deposits and you were hoping to be able to withdraw, but then to realize that your account was zero. So what I'm saying to you is that you can miss someone and still know that they're not safe for your energy, for your spirit, for your soul, and for your mental health. Grief doesn't mean you make the wrong choice. It means you love them deeply. But guess what? You love yourself even deeper. So what I want you to do is, if you're experiencing this level of rejection and also known as grief, I want you to allow yourself to feel the sadness, feel the anger, feel the sense of guilt that you feel, and feel relief. Because, my friends, multiple emotions can coexist. Healing isn't linear. You can feel those emotions, but also understand that healing is important. So what are practical ways to let go with compassion? Because you don't want to do it with anger. You don't want to do it with animosity, because that, my friends, and I've talked to you about it on several episodes, can be very heavy. And where you're about to go, you cannot have that baggage hanging around your neck, because it's only going to weigh you down. Okay, so there are 5 practical ways to let go with compassion. The first, adjust your expectations, my friends. Stop expecting empathy from people who've shown you that they can't even offer it, that they don't care, right? Adjust your expectations. Second, create emotional boundaries. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world. You can relate to them on very surface level conversations. You don't have to give them information about your intimate, daily inner world. Third, limit your engagement. My friends, you can be kind without being available. I need you to know that. 4, stop over-explaining yourself, my dear. Your boundaries don't require a PowerPoint presentation. You don't have to explain why you have boundaries. You don't have to explain why you deserve respect. You don't have to explain why you are limiting your engagement. Come on now. Number 5, this is big. Choose peace over being understood. Not everyone will get it, my friends, and that's okay. That's okay, because check this out, my friends. If you do not have peace in your life, you have the complete opposite, which is chaos. And in order for you to move in the direction of purpose, I know for sure is that peace is at the forefront. So choose peace. And remember, distance can be an act of love for yourself. If you're hearing me in this podcast, I'm speaking directly to you. It is about you loving you not allowing people to treat you less than, even if it is a family member, a parent, a sibling, a very close friend, a spouse. You have to understand that the act of love is about loving you. Lastly, my friends, if you take nothing else from today's episode, I want you to take this. I want this to seep into your mind, your soul. Digest this. You are not required to keep shrinking to keep others comfortable. Absolutely not. You are not disloyal for choosing peace and yourself. You are not difficult for needing respect. I'm going to repeat this again. You are not required to keep shrinking to keep others comfortable. You are not disloyal for choosing peace, and neither are you difficult for needing respect. Letting go is not giving up. It's choosing a life where your own energy, your mental health is a priority. Sometimes the most fulfilling life begins when you stop begging for a seat at tables where you were never valued. I need you to understand that this episode 187, is about you. It's about you giving yourself permission to let go. Because I want you to always know choosing yourself gently is unapologetic. Choosing yourself gently is unapologetic. Loving yourself is unapologetic. Giving yourself boundaries and those around you boundaries is unapologetic. So do it today. Because what I know for sure is that once you do it, Oh, it's like a muscle. You continue to build it and build it so you become stronger than the negative voices that are inside of your head and outside of your head as well. So, with that said, my friends, I am so delighted to have come before you today. And I hope that this information, this episode really supported your growth. Because what I know for sure is that I want you to be empowered for greatness. Because without greatness, my friends, there's no you. And without you, there's absolutely no greatness. Be blessed.